So if you are welcome. If you are joining me, make sure you have a mat. Make sure that you have some props near. Again, it's not necessary, but they may help. So welcome to Gentle Hatha Flow and Restorative. What we're going to do today is take some poses, and they're going to flow in and out of each other. So they're going to move fluidly, but we're not going to move as if we were in a vinyasa. Vinyasa moves a little bit faster. You're going to build heat. You're going to build strength. So it's going to be a little bit different. We are going to flow in out of poses, but we're going to hold the poses. All right, so it's going to be a kind of a slow moving flow. Okay, and they're going to be standing poses. We're going to start standing and then come down to the ground. Then we're going to go into the restorative poses, which are meant to they're meant to be healing. They're meant to have you relax. Restorative poses are usually propped up really nice. So there's usually a lot of props, a lot of bolsters, a lot of blankets. But again, today's practice, because I don't know who out there who has yoga props and who doesn't. So the practice today is designed for no props at all. Although if you have them, you can use them. All righty. If you're joining me on Facebook, please drop me a like or a hello or something like that, or just, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, I will see what I can do. I still haven't learned how to make live so I can see when people comment. I'll figure it out. But for now, let's get started. All right. So let's get started in a standing forward fold. I'm going to turn on my music. And if you're just here for a little bit, that would be great. If you are here for the whole hour, that would be great. Again, I just want you to hopefully get something out of this. Whether you're here for 5 or 15 minutes. All right, so let's start in a standing forward fold. So come to the top of your mat and just hinge at the hips. And then I just want you to fold in. Drop the head. Let the shoulders release. You can soften your knees if you need. All right, you're gonna feel release in the low back. You may feel a pull in the hamstrings. If this is too much, you stay there. I'm gonna grab some blocks. You can grab blocks, cans, whatever's gonna bring the ground up closer to you. I just wanna give you some options, okay? All right, so my palms are coming onto the bricks, so that's helping out a little bit with the pull in my hamstrings. I can change the level of the bricks to come down a little bit more. But again, I don't want this to start out being too much. Kind of want it to be just relaxing. All right, so you can let your fingertips dangle, let your head hang, let your shoulders relax. Maybe close the eyes and then start to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose or mouth, or some natural breaths. Let's just do natural breaths for right now. Because as you come into this very sensational pose, you want to notice what's going on. You want to notice whether your heart is racing, whether you feel like this is too much, whether your mind is telling you to come out of it. So notice it. Just breathe naturally in and out through the nose. We're going to do about 5 more breaths. And as you exhale, hopefully you start to feel a little more release in the tight portions of your body. So in yoga, we're learning how to use that calming portion of our nervous system to balance out that fight or flight. Good. Next inhale, I want you to lift halfway. Bring the palms onto the shins. Push back, open the shoulders. Good. We'll stay here just for a breath as a transition. Fold back in. I want you to take your index fingers and grab a hold of your big toes. Good. So hook it around the inside. And then you're going to pull out. Pull the toes out. Elbows are going to come out. And that's going to take you into a little bit of a deeper forward fold. Hatha with the forehead
Let the head hang, the crown of the head comes down. Keep pulling to open up the shoulders. Open up the elbows. If this is too intense, you can always come back to your forward fold in whichever way that you were doing it the first time. And then you can always soften into this next stage. We have about 5 breaths left. Good. Release the toe bind. Inhale, half lift. Again, push into the shins. Pull the shoulder blades back. Pull the belly into the spine. Exhale, fold in Parahastasana. So we're just going to lift up the feet and walk the hands right underneath the feet. So you're going to walk your foot on the top of the palm, on the back of the hand, and walk the toes to the wrist line. Okay? Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Pull again, pull the elbows away, pull the shoulder blades down the back. Deeper forward fold. Now you're gonna feel a little sensation. We're sitting for about 8 breaths. You're gonna feel a little sensation. Again, if it's too much, back up. If you feel like you can calm yourself with your breath and just melt into it, do that. Neither one is better or worse. Good. Slowly release that foot bind. Inhale, half lift, pull the shoulder blades back again. Exhale, bring the fingertips down, step back with the right leg. Take it all the way back, scooch it back. Come into Anjaneyasana. Lift the arms, reach the fingertips. Good. So we settle into, for about 8 breaths, Anjaneyasana. Keep lunging forward into this left knee. And then feel that right hip flexor pressing into the mat. Now you're gonna feel a nice stretch. Lift up through the chest, belly off of the thigh, belly into the spine to support. You've been with me the past few weeks. You're gonna know these cues. And on your exhale, when you're ready, swing your hips back, straighten through this left knee, and come into a half split. Good. You can fold in. Again, you can always take your bricks or blocks or whatever you have to bring the floor up closer to you and fold in. Make sure to keep a soft bend into this extended knee and flex through the toes. Okay? Because we want to protect this knee and we want the hip to stay plugged in. It all affects. Tight hips are going to make tight knees, they're going to make tight ankles. It's all a chain reaction. So we want to be very mindful and careful. We got about 5 more deep breaths here. As you hold, you can release a little further, a little deeper. And that's up to you. Good. Next inhale, bend back through that left knee, reach the arms, Anjaneyasana. Now exhale, bring the fingertips down, curl the back toes under, lift that knee up. All right, so we're gonna have the same form. Knee over the ankle, back leg is straight, heel is going up towards the sky. Inhale, reach up, crescent lunge. All right, a couple of things for crescent lunge. Make sure this knee, I'm falling. That's okay if you fall. Make sure this knee is focused towards the baby toe. All right, and you see how my knee is slightly bent? See if you can flex through the quad to make it a little bit straighter. And then again, lift the belly off the thigh. Feel a nice pull in that right hip flexor. Reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Breathe. Next exhale, when you're ready, I want you to fold over this left thigh, straighten the knee out. Grab your bricks if you need, I know I need to. And then step this back foot in just a little bit closer. Bring the heel down. Both legs are straight. Coming into a waterfall pose. Fold over that front thigh. Allow the hips to square forward, so that means bringing the left hip back and the right hip forward. Fold in. What are you going to feel? You're going to feel the calf in that back leg, hamstrings in both legs, maybe calves in both legs. Good. From here, lift up just a little bit, halfway. Then into that knee, I want you to walk towards the right. So you're going to walk towards the middle of the mat, the long edge of the mat, and take a wide-legged forward fold. Bring the fingertips in line with the toes. Pull the shoulder blades back and fold in. Maybe put a soft bend into the knees. If it feels like you're locking them out. Keep taking that tailbone up towards the sky. Maybe fold a little deeper. We're going to inhale, lift up. We're going to walk towards the back of the mat, over to the right, so we can do the right side. So bring that back knee down. Front knee stays bent, right knee stays bent. Inhale, lift up. Anjaneyasana. With the right knee forward. Again, pressing that left hip flexor in the mat to stretch out the hip flexor, the quad. Lifting through the chest. Ribs are in to support the back. Exhale, swing that right hip back. Come into half split. Again, this extended leg, the knee is soft, the toes are flexed. In order to plug the hips in, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold in. Try not to run from these poses. You're gonna feel a little sensation. I just want you to try to breathe as you melt deeper. Then inhale, bend into the right knee, come into Anjaney first. Lead the fingertips down, curl the toes, lift that back knee up. All right, we're coming into Crescent Warrior for about 8 to 10 breaths. Keep breathing. Exhale as maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Exhale, fold in, bring the fingertips down. Maybe step that back foot in a little bit, straighten through both knees, fold over the front leg. Good, half lift, inhale, bend into that right knee slightly, walk back to the front of the mat, to that wide-legged stance. Good, now turn your toes out so that they'll be pointed towards the outer edges of the mat. Bend into the knees, drop your butt. We're gonna lift the chest up, use the belly. We're gonna lift up into goddess pose. Good, so bring the arms up, and then bend at the elbows. So elbows are in line with the shoulders, belly's in, pull those shoulder blades down the back, try to bend a little bit deeper into the knees. So you stay there. We need to watch the tailbone from sticking forward, all right? So ways to adjust that, belly in, bring the hips forward, move the tailbone down. Each exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper. Settle in as you feel the sensation. Try not to run. Use your breath. Calm yourself. We're going to inhale, straighten through the arms and legs. Turn the left toes out. Right toes are going to turn towards the long edge of the mat. We're going to come into warrior two on this left side. So bend into the left knee. Bring it as much to 90 degrees as you can. Again, you can also take this right left hand and open the knee, as well as, we've been doing this all week, take those thigh muscles and rotate them inward. Watch the booty pop, but root the tailbone down at the same time. Arms to a T, gaze over the front fingers, the middle finger of this left hand. Warrior two. Maybe close your eyes. Feel all these emotions start to happen. Maybe blood pressure is raising. Maybe our breath is getting a little bit labored because we want to run. But exhale. Try to calm it. Breathe a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale, reverse. Right hand comes down the right leg. Left arm reaches up and over. This back hand can come behind the back to see if you can reach into that left pocket. Lunge a little bit deeper. Open a little bit wider. Good. From reverse, inhale, straighten through that left knee. Maybe walk the feet a little bit closer. Reach out and down to the foot, shin, or ankle. And then inhale, open up the right arm towards the sky. I'm going to use my block here so I can have a little bit more support. All right, torso, heart is going to be pointing up towards the sky. Think about the same direction of the knee and this inner thigh as we did in warrior two. If you have a brick, you can lower it, right? But since I'm a little tight on this side, and you see as I got lower, I'll show you my chest is going down. All right, and we don't want that. We want to be open. So I'm going to bring my brick back up to this height and keep open. Just checking the time. We're doing good on time. I want to make sure to have lots of time for that restorative. Good. Inhale, come on up. And we're going to go to the other side. So turn those left toes in. Right toes turn out. Warrior two, right side. Let's settle into the pose first. Bend into that right knee. Relax. Open that knee out to the right. Feel your inner thighs open. Remember, wrap this inner thigh muscles back. Root the tailbone down. Arms come to a T. Gaze out over the middle finger of that right hand. It's time you take an exhale. Maybe lunge a little bit deeper. Maybe. Don't force it. Good, let's reverse. Inhale. So open up through this side of the body, right side of the body as you keep lunging. Shoulder blades down the back. And inhale, straighten. Let's go into triangle pose. I'm going to grab my brick for this side just to see what happens on this side. Woo. Let's see. Okay. Good. Inhale, come all the way up to a T. Now turn the toes forward, hands to the hips. Let's come back into that wide leg forward fold. We're going to move through this back to the front of the mat, and then we're going to bring the knees down and step back into a table pose. All right. So we're getting ready to go into our restorative. So I'm going to, you stay in table pose. I'm just going to bring my props near. All right. Belly into the spine. Let's just take a quick spinal balance. Right leg goes out. Lift it up hip level. Left arm reach. And bring the palm of the knee down. And switch to the other side. Left leg, right arm. Good. Bring the palm down, bring the knee down. I should bend, not bend, bring the big toes together, knees apart. I'm going to get into my timer. Let's sit back into child's pose. Here we go. All right. So I have a timer, my insight timer, that's going to stop us at 5 minutes. All right. So for me, I'm going to take my bolster, put it between me, big toes together, knees apart, and then I'm going to reach out. And I'm going to set my head on my bolster. So now if you don't have a bolster, child's pose is going to be here. It may be a little more intense than you would like it to be. But again, I want you to think, you stay there. So I might do some talking, I might do some other things, so you don't worry about me. But I want you to settle back into the hips, relax. That's the most important thing here is relax. If you feel any tension, always put support. But I want you to relax, and you're going to release. You're going to feel supported by the ground and supported by these bolsters. And we're going to come to a place of quiet and stillness just with the breath. Slowly, if you want to stay in this pose for a little longer, feel free. I want you to slowly push yourself up. You can move your bolster out of the way. And then we're going to come into a deer pose. So just swing onto your right hip. So my knee is bent. And then my left knee is bent behind me. I'm going to show you from the side. Okay. And then we're going to turn, and get my timer ready again. And then we're going to turn and fold over our right thigh. Now, you can bring your hands, your palms on top of each other, and rest your forehead down. But for me in this situation, it's a little bit too much on my neck. So I am going to again have my bolster. I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to again have my bolster so that I can relax. I am going to turn off the thunderstorms as well. All right, so we got 5 minutes in this very wonderful pose. And again, try to relax. You may feel sensation depending on the tightness in your hips or your hip flexors. But try to stay as still as you can. Find your natural breath and just allow for the mat, allow for the bolster to support you. Allow yourself to sink in. And take your time. Maybe plant your palms. Lift up through the chest. You can move your bolster out the way. Next pose that we're going to come into is a fetal position. So you can bring your knees together and just lie down right on your side and settle into fetal. So I have a few different variations for you that you can try, but I want you to, whichever one you choose, remember, try to stay into it and relax into it. You can have your palm in front of your face. You can bring your arm down by your side, or you can go into a deeper version of this. So what you would do is lift your left knee up towards the sky, and then extend out your right leg. All right, so you're laying on your side, and you got a nice opening here. Okay, I'm gonna start the timer, so whatever version that you are choosing, let's try to be there for 5 minutes. Remember to relax and melt into it. If you are doing this version, I don't want you to try to force your knee up and open. I just want you to let it be wherever it is, okay? And just relax. And slowly, so wherever you are, whether you're in fetal or whether you are in this opening version of it, I want you to slowly roll onto your back. All right. So we just have to do the other side. So we have this pose and then the other side. So bring your feet as wide as the mat, and then I just want you to knock your knees in together. Wow, that's nice. Now, this hopefully should feel good on your tailbone. If not, you can always put a blanket up underneath for support. I'm going to start the timer. Hopefully everybody is still okay. And then our 5 minutes is going to start now. You'll hear the bell, no worries. Close the eyes and just settle in. Notice where in your body you are holding tension. Just try to breathe into it and just release the whole thing that's supporting you. Shoulders, neck, Shavasana. Okay. Take your time. Now for you, I just want you to roll onto your other side, onto your left side. Okay? Into that fetal position. Those here with the knees stacked. Or arm down by the side. Or you can take that variation where the right knee is now pointed up and the left leg is extended. Okay? I'm going to turn so that I can face you and work the timer. Okay? So timer is starting now. And whatever you did on the first side, I want you to do the same thing on this side. Unless it maybe is a little bit too intense. If you just feel maybe a little sensation, as long as you try to pinpoint or notice where you're holding on. And just really let it go. And breathe. And from wherever you were, whether you were here in fetal or whether you were in that extended position, we're just gonna push up nice and gently. And then we just have to do that deer. Let me grab my bolster. We're gonna do that deer pose on the opposite side. So now your left knee is forward and then your right knee is wrapping behind you. And then I want you to go ahead and twist and turn towards that left thigh and then fold out over. So again, if you need the bolster is not necessary, but if you feel okay, right here I'm kind of just hanging out, so it's not very fun. So I am going to use my bolster as support. And you can stay here for as long as you need. Slowly press yourself up.
And I just want you to come right onto your back in Shavasana. Now there's a couple of ways, and you can stay, I want you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you can, because even if I end the video, it'll go off. You don't have to go get up and click anything, so you'll be fine. So there's a couple of ways you can support your Shavasana. You can bring a bolster or pillow underneath your knees, and then go ahead and lay back. If you need support under your tailbone, if this is a little bit too much, you can bring a blanket either up underneath your tailbone or up underneath your shoulder blades. All right, and let the head hang back. Okay. So these are all different options. So I want you to just lay back. Take at least 5 minutes. It is 1 o'clock, so I'm going to end the broadcast or end the class because I want to stay in your time constraints and the time constraints that I promised you. But stay here in this Shavasana. Feel everything open up from what you just did. Allow the shoulder blades to relax down into the mat. Close the eyes. Just let everything release. The jaw, the hips, the belly, whatever you're holding on to as far as tension. Try to just let it go. Drop down and allow the mat to support you. Restorative. That's what it's about. It's about restoring ourselves from the day-to-day activities that we do, the stresses that we put on our bodies. Those moments when we need to relax and we don't. We call it relaxing, but we get on Facebook or we answer emails and we're not doing it. So as you sit in Shavasana, you can have, it's best to do restorative in complete quiet like we had it. Sometimes, as you heard, I had some nature sounds or some rain, if that makes you feel better. But the point is to come into your own quietness and stillness. So lay here in Shavasana. You stay there. I'm going to come up and I'm going to say that I am super thankful to you for sharing this restorative practice with me. And I hope that you were able to quiet down your thoughts. And I hope that you were able to relax your body and start to incorporate some healing. I wish you light, love, peace, and joy in your journey. Namaste.